Dear Music Store television spectators, we're here at the roadshow of Fender Custom Shop. And here's Mike Eldred, right? Yep. You are marketing director of the Custom Shop of Fender. So tell me about your roadshow. What's about that here in Germany, in the middle of Europe, in Cologne, in the Hard Rock Cafe?
Yeah, well, we do these road shows every year, and we go all through the United States and Canada. We go to Japan. We go to the UK. This year we're doing Fender Germany, working with them in Cologne and doing everything here. And then we will go to, by the end of the year, we still have to go to Thailand, Korea, Hong Kong, and some other place out there. So,
but also in Europe, right?
Also in Europe, yeah. So
tell me something about the Custom Shop. What is that?
The Custom Shop was created in 1986 to make custom guitars basically for rock stars, so that Eric Clapton could get a custom guitar made from Fender. Other companies were doing it back then, but Fender wanted to be the person to be able to cater to these musicians. So Bill Schultz opened up the Fender Custom Shop, started it with a few guys, and very quickly everybody wanted to get a custom shop guitar. You know, a lot of people did. So we just got inundated with requests to make custom guitars. So it's just kind of grown from that. And we still keep the shop really small deliberately because we don't want it to get too big. And it helps us to maintain the quality and the integrity and instruments and stuff. So we make guitars for Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, John Mayer, Billy Gibbons, Sheryl Crow, Lenny Kravitz. I mean, everybody. And what happens is that they will contact us, get a custom guitar made from one of our master builders, but anybody, you can get a custom guitar made from the same guy who makes Eric Clapton's guitar. So you can actually play the exact same guitar that Eric Clapton plays on stage every night, built by the same guy who builds his personal guitars, and it's exact in every way.
So the first goal was to push a brand, to do something good for the big stars, and now it's made for everybody.
Yeah, now it's open to everybody, and they can come and do that. And it's been like that for a while, but it helps us to kind of focus, this whole custom thing, so that everybody has an equal opportunity to get something that their idol, or somebody like Jeff Beck plays, so you can get the exact same guitar that he makes, or you can design something of your own, And we deal with a lot of up-and-coming artists too, a lot of new guys too.
So let's say most guitars are very vintage stylish. So do they look only like the old guitars, or do they sound also like the old guitars? Do you try to copy really everything?
We have all the original tooling. We have a lot of the original people who still work at Fender in the Custom Shop. Herbie Gastelum got hired in 1960. He works with us. Abigail Ibarra got hired in 1956. She makes all our pickups.
She's still working there?
She's still working there, yeah, about 3 days. She did a magazine interview, and she said, in the magazine interview, she said, well, I'm going to retire this year. And everybody read it, and it was like, what? And so I said, hey, Abby, can you come in my office for a second? So she came in, and I sat down with her, and I've known Abby for a long time. And I said, I hear you're retiring this year. And she goes, I don't know. But she can't stop.
She can't stop.
She said it in a magazine interview, and they printed it, and so everybody, we have all these consumers or customers freaking out, hey, I better hurry up and order my guitar with her pickups in it because she's going to be gone, and on and on. So it was pretty funny, but yeah, I mean, we do what we do, and it's a fun environment where we work, and we have a lot of freedom to make really cool stuff. And some of the old stuff, we have all the tooling from the original stuff, so we make everything. The majority of what we make is vintage, and we have all the original tooling and all the original machines. A lot of what we do is done on the original machines, but the other side of the Fender Custom Shop is to really push the envelope and to come up with new pickup designs, new body styles, new neck shapes, trying new woods and things like that. So we do that side too. So there's two sides of it.
Most guys are ordering original stuff, like a real 62 Fiesta Red Fender Stratocaster, or do they also mix, for example, a pickup from the 70s with the neck of the 80s or something like that?
Yeah, what happens is that guys will come up with different designs and stuff, and and you know, they'll come to us and they'll want to get a custom guitar made, or they'll say, you know, they want to get a vintage guitar. Like, there's something romantic about a vintage Stratocaster or something romantic about a vintage Telecaster. So you look at a beat up Strat, there's something that's really cool about that. So guys will say, well, I really want, you know, an original 56. Well, an original 56 is going to be probably $60,000 nowadays, you know. So they can come to us and get a beat up looking Strat, but it'll have a flatter radius with bigger frets that they can play easier, you know, different pickups and things like that. So we give them both sides of it. And then we do what we call this custom collection every year, where we come out with new designs, and we'll make new bridges and new pickups and things like that, and we'll mess around with different platforms, and we'll show some new specs and things like that. So we get to push it from our side too, but then we also have the customer and the artist coming to us saying, hey, I want something different, or I want something, you know, that looks vintage but plays like a new guitar.
But tell me, how do you do that? I saw so many guitars this evening then, and they look really like an original one. Yeah. But how can you do these scratches? And show me.
This is a copy of a Telecaster, an old Telecaster, and it has all these dings on it. So it's meant to look like a Telecaster that somebody's played for a long time, like, you know, like Bruce Springsteen or Keith Richards or something like that. So you make a guitar like this and you put these scratches on it, but if you put the scratches in the wrong place, it'll look fake. So we actually study old guitars and go look at where the wear marks are at. You know, you can see where what they call the ashtray, the cover for the bridge would sit around here. So we actually put that on there, and we'll mark it so that it looks like.
But you can't play for 100 years.
No, right? No, but the thing is that it's all the parts and stuff are made from the original tooling. So this bridge plate is stamped from the original 1950 machine. So everything is exactly like original guitar, because it's the same parts that were done on the original guitar, but it's set up so that you can actually, you know, play it a little bit easier, and it won't fret out, and the neck pockets are nice and crisp and tight, and, you know, it's consistency, you know, that's the biggest thing. But it looks like somebody's played this in a bar for, you know, 40 years, you know, or something.
Absolutely.
Like that. But so somebody can sit there and say, well, you know, to get an original one like this would cost a lot of money, and you can get something that's made with the same tooling, you know, with some customization to it, so it plays like an original Telecaster or better.
So for stars, it's really easy to get a guitar, a custom shop guitar. But for everybody else, for example, how many time it will take from ordering a guitar and then to get it?
Well, the thing with the custom shop is that we are a small facility, and the way I equate it is that it's like a small container or a bag, and only so much stuff fits in that bag, right? Like if you're buying groceries, you can only put so much stuff in one bag, or you have to get another bag or make the bag bigger. We don't want to make the bag bigger. We want to keep the bag small, because we feel that the way that you maintain integrity and the quality of the product is to have it controllable. Once you start making things bigger, then it gets away from you, and you start cutting costs or cutting corners and things like that, and we just don't want to do that. So we purposely keep the custom shop limited. So right now you probably have about 6 months wait, 6-7 months wait if you order a regular guitar today. If you order a custom shop master built guitar, and you know, you want something built by one of the master builders who really has a lot of back orders, it could be 3 years, 2 years.
Master builders means is only one person who's producing the whole guitar. It's not a team.
Well, we have two sections in the custom shop. We have team builders and we have master builders. The team builders are, if you get a team built guitar, they're 100% responsible to make sure that guitar gets through the system and through our factory correct and built to your specifications. Master builder's the same way. He is 100% responsible to find out what you exactly want, and then he has to make that guitar be a reality. So he's got to figure it out. Now we have 8 guys, so we don't have 8 different machines to run things. That's making the bag bigger. So we have one machine, and we have one guy who really runs that machine well to cut the body, just the outside. and then everything else is done by hand. And so he'll go through the orders with a master builder, and he'll do that part of it. And then the master builder will, he takes it to different various. It depends on what it is. Some guys will do, like we had a double neck here tonight. There's no templates for that. Guy has to make that from scratch himself. But if the guy's running a Telecaster body and you just ordered a regular Telecaster body, then we'll go sit down and we'll run it with the other Telecasters, but that's as far as it'll go. Then the master builder takes it and he does all the rest. He'll pick out the wood and all that stuff, but afterwards he'll detail it as you like.
What's about the prices? Are the prices different? Are there differences between a Stratocaster from the 80s or from the 70s? These rebuilt guitars, or are they a little bit similar to each other?
The prices are it all depends on what you get. If you order a 70s guitar, there's certain things that we do that we can do, like in a limited edition. We'll do a 70s guitar with a 3-bolt neck and all this other stuff. But if you're not buying one of those and you're saying, hey, I really want to get one made, then we have to stop, really make sure that it gets done right. And so it's probably going to be a master builder, or what we call a team built custom, where we'll spend a little bit more time, personal attention to detail, and it'll cost a little bit more, But that's to make sure that you get what you want, That's the whole key. Because if we just set something loose, the last thing we want you to do is wait 7 months and get something that isn't right. So that's the whole thing. So we really want to make sure that you're getting exactly what you ordered.
You have to fix the idea, and that's Custom Shop. Let's talk about this Telecaster guitar, because the guy played so many great things on this guitar. He's really amazing. Yeah. So is this a master guitar or a team?
This is a team-built guitar, and it's a really cool sounding guitar. It's like I said before, when you look at it, you go, wow, that's a 50s Telecaster. But the reality of it is that there's so much going on with the wiring. There's so much going on with the pickups. There's, the radius is flatter, so you can bend strings and not fret out.
What is the price of that guitar? It's really very important for customers, right? Roundabout.
I don't really know. I think this is about, I want to say like maybe retail price, because I only know really kind of U.S. stuff, is probably around $5,000 retail price. U.S. dollars. I don't know what it is here. But
we could say that it is an investment for the future, because you will get a really high-end guitar, and maybe the next year it will be much more expensive than today.
Yeah, see, our whole thing in the custom shop is that it's not about, well, let's just make a bunch of expensive guitars and make a bunch of money. That's not really what it is. Some people may think that that's what that is, but it really isn't. You can't survive. Next year's our 25th anniversary. You can't be in business for 25 years if you have that mentality. People will smell it. They'll see it. And it'll show on the instruments. We don't work like that. What we do is our whole goal, our whole focus is that we want to we have a saying in the custom shop. Number one, build the very best that Fender can build, and provide a vehicle for artists and customers to partner with and invest in Fender's rich legacy and history. Rich legacy and history is people like Abigail, Herbie, all the people I talked about before, and all the original tooling and everything like that. Investment, we don't talk about you go and buy a guitar. We talk about you go and invest the guitar, because we really feel that if you're going to spend this much money, you should have something that has value to it. And so when you spend $5,000 for a custom shop guitar, we want you to be able to get the majority of that purchase back when you trade it in, because you will trade it in, or maybe you'll keep it, I don't know. But guitar players, all of us, are kind of notorious about selling stuff to get something else, right? I call it tone angst, where you just sit there and go, wow, if I really want that amplifier, or I really want that other guitar, or maybe I'm going to stop playing electric guitar, I'm going to start playing acoustic guitar, and I want to spend a lot of money on an acoustic guitar. Well, I have this guitar that I bought for $5,000, and it's it's limited. It's one of 30. So I know that now that my investment value stays healthier. Does that make sense? And so you can trade it into the dealer. You can go to someplace like Music Store and you can trade it in, and they'll give you a good amount of money on it, because it's worth more to them too because they can sell it on the secondary market. Now, most companies don't even think about secondary market. They just think about selling and making their bottom line and blah, 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 and you're done with it. But we really don't do that. We look at the stuff that we build, we really kind of focus in on an investment. We want people to come to the custom shop and be really comfortable with that purchase, knowing that they have something that's worth money. And that's really what it is for us. And when you talk to people about it, it's so bizarre because they don't think you're telling the truth. They're going, oh no, there's got to be a different thing, you know. We did this thing, like this whole partner with and invest, that goes throughout the whole thing. Like when we talk about Eric Clapton, you know. It's like what do you get Eric Clapton for his birthday? You know, here's a guy who has everything and all this other stuff. I mean, what do? You can't really buy him a Rolex watch because he has tons of Rolex watches. You can't buy him a nice car because he has tons of nice cars, you know. So you sit back and you go, okay, what can we do? And so
master built guitar.
Yeah, well, I sat down with Eric, and last thing you want to get him is a guitar. You sit back to him and you go, I told Eric before, I said, we want to be more than a guitar company for you. You know, we feel we should be, you know. So let's partner together, you know, and figure out what we can do. Well, Eric has a great charity called Crossroads in Antigua. And it helps recovering addicts and stuff like that and all that business. So we sat down and we said, let's do something that's really cool that gives to the charity. So we designed Eric Clapton guitar and an Eric Clapton amplifier. And Eric put artwork on it, you know, and gave us some artwork to put on it. And so we did that. We did that on the amp and on the guitar. And I think we sold maybe 20 or 30 of those things. We sold them direct. We sold them for about $20,000 or $30,000, and Eric signed the certificates. And it was you got a really cool package with it and everything. It's a very collectible guitar. But we took all that money and we gave it to Eric's charity. Fender didn't make any money. Eric didn't make any money. We gave all the money to his charity, and it was a lot of money. Trust me, it was a lot of money. And that's kind of like what we want to do. I mean, that's not something that you'd sit down and go, oh, that makes sense business-wise. It doesn't make sense business-wise. But again, what do you do to help Eric Clapton? What do you do to you know, partner with that guy? You know, that's a charity that's dear to his heart, and we want to help with things like that. So we do that kind of stuff every once in a while, and it's really kind of the underlying philosophy of the custom shop.
You have to love.
Yeah.
So you can't. If not, you can't do these guitars, right?
Right.
You know, I would say we described now the situation today. So everybody who's making music knows that Fender is the fifth element of rock and roll. You know, everybody.
Very flattering.
Yes, well, yes, but I have to say that because you know it started many years ago with a Fender guitar. You know, rock and roll basics are there in Fender. So the situation now. We describe that. It's Stratocaster, the Telecaster. What's the future? What could you see for tomorrow? What's the goal for tomorrow? To stay on this market? What's an idea, a new vision for tomorrow?
For us, a lot of what and we just talked about this tonight or last night with some of the guys. My thing for me is I'm looking at. You know, some of the body styles that Fender has made in the past where it's just like, yeah, that's cool. I mean, like a Jazzmaster, for instance. A Jazzmaster has two pickups, has a bunch of switches on it, has that really weird tremolo. And you know what? That's a really great sounding guitar. It's a different sounding guitar. The pickups are different. They sound a little bit more mid-rangey. It's not as twangy as a regular Fender. But that tremolo is kind of weird. It kind of sways instead of really works as a good trem. So I look at that, but I look at the body style and I'm going, wow, that's so cool. And it's almost like it's been neglected. So there's so many different ideas now that we want to do with a Jazzmaster. So for next year, we're really doing a lot of stuff with Jazzmasters, and we're reversing the bodies. We're putting humbuckers on them. We're putting Filtertrons on them. We're putting custom tremolos on them. Redoing the wiring, so it still has the look of a Jazzmaster, but it's a badass rock machine, man. And so you want something that, you know, for me, I play like hard like this with my right hand, And if I played a jazz master, I'd knock all the strings off the bridge. That is how I play. But we want to make it. But I love the body style. So it's like, wow, that would be cool if you had something that would be geared towards more of the rocking guy, right? You know, the rocker dude. So that's kind of, you know, little things that we're looking at. That we're doing some different body shapes and things like that. We're embellishing some of the Telecaster shapes, like the Cabronita is another one that we did, which I was talking to somebody tonight about it. It's still a Telecaster, but it's like the you know, idiot asshole brother of the family, you know. But it still looks like a Telecaster, but it's much more aggressive. It has a Filtertron pickup in it, you know, has one knob on it, and you know, it's really in your face. And we released that guitar a couple years ago, and like Keith Urban like snatched it up. John Mayer snatched it up. People like Billy Gibbons like grabbed onto it. It's like, wow, this is kind of cool. It's still based on a Telecaster platform. We're just taking it to like, we're just branching out and making a different thing. You know what I mean?
I wanted to say that custom shop does not mean being conservative.
No.
It could be a step into a new generation of new guitars.
Yeah, we want it to sit down with people and come up with different designs and experiment with stuff. We have a whole Pro series. It's called the Pro series. It's not called Pro for like professional. It's called Pro for prototype. So it allows us a platform for us to really experiment with new pickups, new wiring, new neck shapes, new body styles, still maintaining the basic shape of things, but just adding a little bit of...
You can freak out, you know,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
every guitar is really unique.
You could really freak out. You could sit down. I mean, we were just talking tonight about Jazzmaster pickups, and I was like going, I want to sit down with some of the master builders, and that's how we designed this front pickup that's on this, called a Twisted Telly pickup. But I want to sit down with some of the master builders and say, okay, take that pickup design and make something different, you know? And now you have a guy... The pickup was developed in the 1950s, but now you have a guy who is maybe only 30 years old, looking at it going, oh, well, what if you did that? Which is great because it's a whole different look, or a whole different perspective, or a whole different approach to how to design a pickup. Because he doesn't know, you know, the history, and he's not bogged down in the history of it. He's just like looking at it going, wow, well, why don't you do this? And that's like where the Cabronita came from, where it's just like, it's, you know, why not do that, you know? And that's the whole thing, you know?
So what you doing tomorrow? You're visiting the music store?
Yeah, tomorrow we fly to the UK, and we do another road show in Bath, England. And then the next day we fly to Italy, and we go to we have a showroom in Italy. We have a showroom here in Dusseldorf that's beautiful. It's the first one. And then we have another showroom in Bologna, Italy, and we do another road show there over the weekend. And then we come back home on Monday, and then I'm home for one day, and then I go right back to the factory and jump back in it again, you know. It's always
I hope you will come once with a whole team into the new music store here in Cologne. You have a look at all guitars, all Fender guitars, and maybe we can do some clinics over there one day.
I would love that. And I just have to tell everybody out there that I visited the music store, the new store, in May for the first time, and it blew my mind. It completely blew my mind. I mean, the staff is so knowledgeable. The store is just amazing. It's like Disneyland for a guitar player.
Absolutely.
Any musician, you know. And it's so well done. Your staff is so right on the money, and it's just you know, we're so appreciative of stores like that. I came back with pictures and I showed it to all the guys at the custom shop saying, this place is amazing, you know. So hopefully we can come and do something there at the store too.
Hope so. I wish you a good flight. See you next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. And
so
thanks to everybody at the music store. Thank you so much.
Bye.